Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra. As we draw down the curtains on 2023 and look ahead at 2024, it is a great time to look back and to see, especially how have investors made money when it comes to commodity markets, especially precious metals and gold, which is a huge investment opportunity that investors always scout for. Also, what is the outlook as far as this yellow metal is concerned? Indians, of course, for years and years have always looked upon as a prized possession when it comes to gold, not just for consumption, but also as an investment opportunity. But we are going to be understanding from our expert who's going to be joining us on this special edition, how have gold prices moved through this entire year, 2023? What have been the factors that have supported the gold prices? And of course, whether it makes sense for you now to invest in gold going forward into the new year as well. And here, I'm going to be joined by a very special expert. Sugandha Sachdeva now joins in. She's a market expert and has been tracking gold for a long time now. Welcome, Sugandha, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this very special edition. And here's wishing you season's greetings and a very happy new year in advance.
Yeah, hi Sakshi. Thanks for inviting me on your show and wishing you and all the viewers a very happy new year.
Thank you so much, Sugandha. Now, Sugandha, like we're talking about gold, of course, gold prices remain pretty resilient in the year 2023. They've given a return of about 14 odd percent in the international market, 16% in the domestic market as well. In fact, gold has also taken support from the economic uncertainty across the globe that was being seen, geopolitical tensions, and of course, inflationary pressures and the rate hikes that have been going around as well. But, the big question now is what is the outlook on gold prices as we step into the gold new year as well? Will gold continue to add more glitter to investors' portfolios? So tell us to begin with, how have you summed up the entire year for gold investors at large of 2023 and what's the look ahead?
So Sakshi, talking about the recap of 2023, gold has kind of proved its timeless allure in 2023 and can boast of high returns of around close to 16%, wherein it marked a new high of around 64,460 per 10 gram mark. So this is basically because of an interplay of various factors, be it the central bank policies, the interest rate adjustment, the global economic climate, as well as the geopolitical worries, and the continued central bank purchases. So all of these factors in tandem have contributed to high returns that we have seen in gold this year. In fact, since 2016, if you see, gold prices have been on an upward trajectory barring 2021, where we saw some slightly negative returns. So gold has been able to perform really well and has remained quite attractive in a complex financial environment. I think if we sum up the performance this year, first quarter we saw gold prices marking a new high all because of the US banking crisis. In the second and third quarter, prices consolidated for a while, but then after the Israel-Hamas conflict in the last quarter of this year, prices have again soared by around 10%. So overall, prices have remained gold has remained in demand for the entire year and has been a part of investment portfolios. I think this trend is likely to continue next year also. Throughout the year, there were anticipation that Fed is likely to pivot towards interest rate cuts in 2024. And in the last meeting itself, Fed has already confirmed that it's done with its rate hike program. In next year, markets are expecting three interest rate cuts by the US Fed. So this
Yeah.
shift in monetary policy stance by the US Fed has been a major factor that has acted as a tailwind for gold prices. Besides this, next year we have to look forward to several factors. I think inflation has been inching lower in the US. If you look at the headline PCE index, which is a closely monitored gauge by the US Fed, it has come down to a figure of around 2.6% after cooling off from 7% in the mid of 2022. So considering this cool off in inflation, Fed is likely to embark on an interest rate cut path next year, and that will be a major tailwind for gold prices, as that will lead to a lot of downward dips in dollar index. Apart from this, geopolitical worries are still there. Middle East tensions are going on. In case they flare up, that will act as another catalyst, which is likely to boost the demand for gold as a safe haven asset. Alongside this, central banks have been buying gold for last 13 years. And last year, they have purchased gold upwards of 1,100 tons. And this year also, till the third quarter of this year, they have bought almost 800 tons of gold, and which is almost 14% higher as compared to the similar period last year. So this trend, I think, is likely to continue next year also. So these central bank purchases are very much indicative of the fact that dollar is losing its value as a universal currency. There is a move towards de-dollarization, and central banks are diversifying their reserves away from dollar. And since there is no other alternative currency, so central banks have been looking forward to gold itself as a store of value. So all of these factors, alongside this, historically, we have seen that whenever there is a rate cut path, we see significant downward slide in dollar index. As of now, dollar index is holding well above 100 mark, but in case there is a breach of 100 mark in the dollar index, we can see it slipping lower towards 95 to 92 mark, and that will be a very positive factor for gold prices because they bear negative correlation to each other. So these all factors will, in confluence, play a very significant role next year. So I think gold prices are looking very attractive for a next year perspective also. We are going to see a lot of volatility, obviously, depending on the growth trajectory as well as the inflation trajectory. But still, the overall path is going to be positive for next year. All the factors in confluence are pointing towards a smooth bull ride for gold for next year.
Okay, there could be an upside even from current levels. We've already seen a record level of 64,400 odd levels, on gold this time around. What is your own price target for domestic gold going forward from here for the year 2024 then?
So, Sakshi, gold prices may not move straight on the higher trajectory from current levels. We may see some dips in prices, but
Okay.
overall, we are targeting levels of around 72,000 per 10 gram. And in international markets, we are looking at levels of around 2350 per ounce. As of now, prices are finding a lot of resistance around 2080 per ounce mark. Prices have tested a high of around 2148 per ounce in international markets, but then they have not been able to sustain at high levels. We see a sustained move above 2080 per ounce mark, I think prices are headed higher towards 2200 per ounce first, and then 2350 is the level which is on the cards for next year. So in the domestic market, if I talk about the downside levels, we have a strong support in place at 59,500 per 10 gram mark. And on the high side, we can look forward to levels of around 72,000 for the year ahead.
Wow. So there is an outlook of even gold prices moving into the 70s now, and 72,000 could be a reality going forward from here. So what would you suggest any of those investors who've been already having this fear of missing out on the gold rally that we have seen unfold in 2023? Would you ask them to use the dips to now buy afresh in gold? Will gold investment turn out to be a good one for the new year?
So I think investors, those who have missed this ride, should wait for some time. I think they should wait on the sidelines as of now. Prices
Okay.
look slightly overstretched. We are likely to see some reversal in dollar index in the immediate short term because 100 mark is acting as a support level. So that might act as a slightly negative factor for gold prices in the immediate short term. So we may see some cool off in prices towards 60,000 to 59,500 mark. So that is a good accumulation zone. In
Okay.
case you get further dips, 58,700 is the next level to look forward to, where one can certainly buy gold. So, from a longer term perspective, I would suggest to use dips, any dips in gold prices, to accumulate gold from a longer term perspective. So, you can enhance your return by entering at the appropriate dips opportunities.
Fair enough. Also, tell us what is the best way then to invest in gold? Should one continue to invest via the physical market, which is very, very popular in India, say buy gold bars or coins? But on the other hand, we've also seen recently the increase in the other digital options as well. There has been a surge in gold ETF options, gold mutual funds, digital gold, there's sovereign gold bonds that are now seeing higher demand as well. How would you advise a fresh and new investor looking purely for investment purpose to invest in gold?
So, Sakshi, we have consumption demand. So, people who have a consumption demand, they look for gold jewelry. But then,
Right.
from an investment perspective, gold certainly forms a part of every good portfolio wherein you want to have better risk adjusted returns. So, there are several avenues through which you can allocate your portfolio towards gold. So, the favorite one is gold bonds. Here, you get interest at the rate of 2.5% per annum, apart from the appreciation that you see in gold prices. Apart from this, you're also exempt from the capital gains tax if you hold gold bonds till maturity, which is 8 year currently. However, you have a lock-in here. But in case you want for extreme ease in transaction, you can look for gold ETFs, wherein you can easily transact on the stock exchange platform. You can buy as low as 1 gram of gold, and you can gradually do in staggered manner in gold ETFs. So gold ETFs and gold bonds are the favorite preferred investment avenues. Apart from that, in case you do not have a demat account, you can also look for gold mutual funds as well. Herein, you do not need a gold demat account. You can easily do SIPs also in gold mutual fund. So this is also a way to enhance your returns by allocating your portfolio, a certain percentage of your portfolio towards gold. So I would advise investors to allocate at least 10 to 12% of your portfolio towards gold from a longer term perspective.
Fair enough. Now we've talked a lot about gold, but there's the other white metal also that also is gaining a lot of investors' interest. Of course, with the kind of utility that we are seeing that is increasing in the industrials, of course, and of course, apart from it, the kind of price surge that we've seen in silver prices as well. How would you look at silver prices going forward from here in 2024? And does silver also make for a good investment opportunity for investors at this stage?
Yeah, Sakshi, I feel that gold silver is also a very good investment opportunity, even though in 2023 prices traded in a very narrow range in international markets. They hovered in a band of around $20 per ounce to $26 per ounce. So as of now, $26 per ounce is acting as a very strong hurdle for silver prices, all because the demand from China has not been very strong. So silver draws its usages from industrial applications. As of now, as the world is moving away from fossil fuels, the demand for silver is likely to increase significantly, especially in 5G technologies, solar panels, and electric vehicles. If you look at a normal ICE vehicle, you consume almost 25 to 30 ounces of silver, whereas in an electric vehicle, you consume almost 50 grams of silver. So this usage is likely to increase significantly. And as of now, the EV automobile sector is consuming almost 50 million ounces of silver, which is likely to increase to almost 90 million ounces by 2040. So overall, the industrial demand for silver is likely to remain very healthy. And this is a factor which is likely to support silver prices going forward. Apart from that, in case the geopolitical tensions increase and the Fed is likely to embark on an interest rate cut trajectory, so that is another factor which is likely to fuel silver prices on an upward trajectory. So the demand outlook for silver is also very healthy, and the economic environment is also very conducive for the silver bull run to continue. However, prices are consolidating, and only in case they manage to breach this barrier of $26 per ounce, they are headed higher. In the domestic market, I feel 78,500 mark is acting as a strong resistance for prices. Once we see a breach of that level, prices are likely to head higher towards 85,000 to 88,000 per kg mark from a year-end perspective. We also see prices reaching a level of around 95,000 per kg from a slightly longer term perspective. So overall, the outlook for silver is very positive. We also need to look at gold silver ratio, which is currently hovering around 88 mark. So gold silver ratio is also moving in a band of 78 to 88 as of now. In case 78 mark is breached, we are likely to see silver outperforming gold. However, this year, gold has outperformed silver, and next year
Yeah.
also, I'm expecting gold to outperform silver.
Okay, so in the near term, we can see gold outperforming silver, but definitely silver makes for a good investment opportunity even at this stage, as the outlook on the longer term is fairly positive even on this one as well. Well, on that note, thanks a lot, Sugandha, for being with us on this very special edition and explaining to all our viewers the scenario that has panned out for 2023 in terms of both the precious metals, gold and silver, and what's the outlook going forward, and the investment opportunities that one and all the viewers can actually scout for as well. It's always a pleasure hosting you with us, and especially on this New Year special edition. Many thanks, and here's wishing you a happy New Year once again.
Thank you, Sakshi, for inviting me.
All right, and with that, we will wrap up this very, very special edition. So there you have it, all the clarity as far as your gold and investment queries on silver also is concerned. You exactly know what to do for the new year when it comes to these precious metals. With that, we will wrap up this special edition. Happy New Year to all of you, and do stay tuned on to Business Today TV for a whole lot more news and coverage from the world of business and stock markets.